Understanding your full vocal range is key. A lot of singers you hear and they've kind of mastered the sweet spot in their upper middle, and that's great because that's where the drama often is in contemporary singing. But they go into different parts of their range and it kind of falls apart. So keep learning what the different elements of making that work are, and then keep making sure that it's in your warm-up. That's the place to put your practice as far as I'm concerned. So the bottom is often overlooked, so you should be singing on the bottom a lot and figuring out how to express that and how to be in tune on the bottom. Do you do it for the money, or do you need a distraction? Well, are you good or just lucky, baby? Yeah, what's the attraction? Are you playing to win? Or just to get a reaction? Does it bring you any satisfaction? I do it 'cause I like the action. Do you do it for the money, or do you need a distraction? That's pretty low. So what are the elements of that? For one is, I talk a lot about reverse resonance in the art of body singing. That singing is a moving target, and your resonance wants to move around with you. Meaning that if I'm singing low, it's natural for it to be in the body, and if I'm singing high, it wants to come up and be in the head, and there are other things that can come with that. Even if I stay in what's considered a chest voice, or what I like to call a connected tone, as I go higher, unless I do something about it, it's going to be very bright and very nasally. And unless I do something about the low notes, they're going to be very chesty. So unless I do something about that to balance that, that's what's going to happen. It's going to follow me around. So I have to constantly have a sense of what we call reverse resonance. So when I'm singing low, I have to know what up is. So I can sing down here and have some presence on my tone. It's not going to be my most projecting part of my range, but it can still be very expressive. Conversely, as I go high, either, for one, even just to do that takes some work, because that high, the voice naturally wants to go into falsetto. So we have to work on this sense of being able to pull it back, which is, again, a direction thing. Can I pull back? To keep it in what I call a connected tone, what would also be called a chest voice. But it doesn't mean that it, even as a chest voice, it doesn't mean it can't be kind of bright and even obnoxious if I'm not careful. So I have to have a sense of what this direction is, so I can keep connected to a lot of the tones that are in my body and pull it down out of some of these more obnoxious places and make it more flattering and desirable. So I have to have a sense of reverse resonance all the time. So that should be something you do a lot in your warm-up practices. You do things even in a very static way throughout your range, where you're doing things slowly. Where you're working on the bottom and you're working up, and some things higher. I'm pulling back pretty hard here. If I weren't, it would immediately go to that. And if I'm not careful, it's going to have the church lady sound. If I do it lightly, it'll be nice, but it's not going to project. I'm doing that, but I'm not doing that. You learn it from that. The art of body singing has a lot of this sort of work in it, where you learn the direction. I like using the drop larynx to teach that, to teach what direction is, to teach what down is. But I don't use it in singing, hardly ever. But I use the direction. I use the move. I'm pulling back and I'm pulling down pretty hard. But I'm keeping the tone of it up here so it has a more natural quality. So that then you take something like we did a minute ago. Do you do it for the money? Do you need a distraction? Are you good or just lucky, baby? Go to the middle, maybe. Do you do it for the money? Do you need a distraction? Well, are you good or just lucky, baby? What's the attraction? Are you playing to win? So it's a very easy spot. Well, do you do it for the money? Or do you need a distraction? Well, are you good or just lucky, baby? What's the attraction? Although even there, are you good or just lucky, baby? If I'm not pulling back, are you good or just lucky, baby? Already even there, it would want to naturally go there. Are you good or just lucky, baby? What's the attraction? It would immediately want to go towards a mix because I'm in the middle. And if I do it higher, I'm going to have to pull down. If I don't, do you do it for the money? Well, do you need a distraction? That's its natural habitat. You good or just lucky, baby? What's the attraction? Are you playing to win? And to do what we're talking about, you should be able to do that lightly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll do a falsetto, just touching that falsetto. Because then you're in a position, you're not over singing, you're in a position to make these moves we're talking about. Do you do it for the money? Do you need a distraction? Well, are you good or just lucky, baby? What's the attraction? Are you playing to win? Just to get a reaction? Does it bring you any satisfaction? I do it 'cause I like the action. I do it 'cause I like the action. And I'm back here. I can do all kinds of things from there if I want to dirty that up a little. I do it 'cause I like the action. I'm in a place to pick up some of that throat resonance if I want it. I'm just in a good spot. So if working full range, there's some steps involved. And those steps very much have to do with direction. Know your direction. Know up and down. And work that on a regular basis in your warm-up.